And we are live on Facebook. Hello, everybody on Side by Side channel. And with our weekly meeting with mental coaching sessions and Kamal Aimer. Hello, Kamal. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Hanel. Thanks for inviting me again. Hello, everyone watching and listening.
We are
It's always
always
nice to be
happy
back.
having you with us.
Thank you.
I believe today, Kamal, we are going to build on last week's session. Am I right?
That is correct. Today we are going to build on what we started last week, and it was all about decision strategies, how we make our decisions and what affects them and how we can improve them, basically.
Well. So great. So floor is yours. Let's
Thank you
start.
very much.
Thank
All
you.
right, so we'll start with something normal, is that we make decisions every single day of our life. This is a constant and it doesn't stop. And one of the problems that we have, or if I may call them problems, is that we tend to have what we call good decisions or good decision strategies and bad decision strategies. These strategies are based on our own knowledge, our experience, and a few more aspects of them. Last time we talked about how many decisions we make, and I think an average adult does about 35,000 decisions per day. That includes which foot you're going to put when you wake up. Are you going to snooze the button when your alarm rings? Are you going to jump out straight away? Are you going to go to take a shower, brush your teeth, wash your face, shave, do whatever it needs to be done, when and how you're going to make them? Some of the decisions are very usual, they're habitual, so we don't really think of them. Like, for instance, when there's a red light, and we automatically know that, okay, so there's a red light, we need to stop because there are other cars. Now, you'd make the decision to stop right there, but it has become a habit. The decision of last time I spoke about how you make your tea or your coffee, right? If you're going to have milk, sugar, how many stirs you're going to do? Are you keeping the tea bag inside? Are you taking it out? Are you making your coffee in a plunger? Are you grinding it? So all of these are the decisions that we make during the day. Now, we can't stop and think about each and every single decision, otherwise it will take us forever and we won't be doing anything in our life. So some of them go to the subconscious and they are automatic. The others, however, these are the ones that take more time and more conscious thinking. Let's think of going to a restaurant, right? And a couple of friends here and there, and the waiter comes over. The first person says, yeah, so I'll have the beef stroganoff. The other person says, okay, I'll have the lamb chop. And then comes to the third person, and the third person is like, oh, I haven't made my decision. Wait, I don't know. You're having the beef. Should I have the chicken? And all these, they go internally, these thoughts. But at the same time, you might want to ask people, okay, so you've taken the stroganoff. Should I take that? And you get confused. You're unsure of what you want to order. You become insecure at certain times. And then out of the blue, you look at the menu and say, oh, okay, let me take the vegetarian order. You don't even like vegetarian. But what happens is that you took the vegetarian order because you got so confused and you got so entranced by the moment of not being able to make a decision that you had to make a decision at that moment. So, coming back to the strategy of a decision. The strategy of a decision is usually based on one's experience in life, what they have, if they have events that are similar to them, and how they can impact the common event at the precise time. What I'm trying to say is that You can go to the store and you see a beautiful hat, and you look at it and say, oh, this is such a beautiful hat. I would love to have that hat. And why would you love to have that hat? Well, you think to yourself, oh, I remember I watched this movie and this actress, she had a beautiful hat on and it was very similar to that hat. So you get into the shop and you imagine yourself wearing that hat, looking like this actress. You go in, you try it on. Oh, it feels wonderful. It looks beautiful. You look at the tag price, a little bit over your budget. But you tell yourself, it's a little bit over my budget. You know what? It's okay. I can still do the payments. It will make me feel good to have that hat. So you go to the cashier and buy that hat and take it in your nice box. Take it home, you put it on, and you're like, oh, I'm going to wear it whenever I want to now, this hat. And you don't. You still have the hat, but you don't wear it at all. Now that, in essence, is a bad decision because you spent money that was over your budget based on something that you really liked, but you've never used it. Now, these decisions, we make plenty of them during our life. Well, plenty, that's very relative. And if we stop and think about how we make those decisions, consciously think of them, we will have a much better result in those decisions. So the idea is that decisions are based on our visual, our auditory, and our kinesthetic feeling, or our feeling about an event, a situation, or something. Let's take the case of the hat. That person saw a hat in the vitrine, in the window of a shop. By seeing that hat, they remembered the movie where that beautiful actress was wearing the hat and it looked just stunning on her. That encouraged her to think, oh, that would be so beautiful on me. You see, there's a thought there. That thought is an auditory. She's talking to herself and she's hearing herself say that. That would be beautiful on me. I will look like this actress and I will wear it whenever I can. It's so fancy and it's modern and it has all the functionalities that a person can have as a hat. Plus it's summertime now, so it will be perfect. See, that person has constantly answered the auditory to herself. Now she goes inside and she looks at the price, she puts it on, she goes, oh, that feels so good. Now that feeling is connected, right? So she had the visual, she had the auditory, and she had the kinesthetic, that feeling. She looks at it again and she sees that price tag. See, that's a visual again. Once she sees the price tag that it's over budget, she talks to herself again, auditory. Oh my God, this is over budget. What am I going to do? I love how it feels on me. I know I'm going to wear it all the time, but I can't afford that. Oh, maybe if I stretch myself a little bit, I can afford it. Now, she went against the rational or the logical sense of sticking to what is right in a sense where she can't afford it. So basically she shouldn't buy it. But because the feeling and the visual overpowered that notion or that auditory sense, she went and bought the hat. She buys the hat, she's indebted, she paid with her credit card, she has to pay that credit card for the next month, 2 months, whatever it is. And she never wears the hat. After a year or two, she realizes, oh my God, I've got this hat, I've never worn it. Maybe I should get rid of it. So, you see how our decisions are constant. There's a constant work going on, whether it's a visual, an auditory, or a feeling that we get. Most of the time, the best decisions that are made, they have an alignment between the three. And you can even do it yourself. You just look at it. You figure out how things work. Like if I were to tell you, for instance, right now, I want you to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Now, what happened in your mind? Did you see the word? Did you hear it? Did you feel how it would make you spell it out loud? How it made you feel? The first thing that happens, though, is that you got an auditory prompt. You heard it first from me. And then what happens is that perhaps you repeated it to yourself. And then you saw the letters, or you saw the movie, or you heard a song about it. You see, all of these, they come and there's a strategy behind it, and each one is very individual with their strategy. And then it comes to the point where, okay, how am I going to spell it? Where do I start? Do I know what's the first letter and then what's the second letter? And then the strategy starts again. Do you see the letter? Do you write the letter? Do you feel it? Etc., etc. And it's a continuous work, right? So now that we know that we have strategies with our decisions, what do we do with these strategies? Well, the best way is to figure out when we make these stupid decisions. I'm not going to call them bad decisions. I'm going to say stupid decisions. Decisions that resulted in, that gave us unwanted results, basically. And study them, learn from them, learn how you've made these decisions, and compare them to times where you've made decisions that resulted in an outcome that you wanted. And compare them. See how that one worked for you or didn't work for you, and see how the new one worked for you. Try applying that new strategy of how you made it work in that event into the past event that wasn't applicable. See if it works. Try to test it on a new situation that is coming up. Figure out if that new strategy will work for you or not. And try it obviously on small things, not very big major decisions. But strategizing over the decisions that you are going to make is very important, because you will get better results with time. Every single time you make a decision that is resourceful to you, resourceful to the results that you want. It's not an easy thing to do, because it really requires you to pay attention to how you talk to yourself, how you think, and how you feel at that specific time. That's why I'm saying it's best to study or analyze these decisions on past events, events that are gone and no longer make a difference in your life. Like buying that hat, or randomly buying a car, or buying some stupid tool at the cashier because it was right there, you know, those sales marketing tricks where they put all these fancy or quick buy things for, I don't know, $1 or $2, and then you buy it because, oh, that's going to be useful. And then you turn out not to do it, to use anything of it, and you don't use it anymore. So think about these quick buys or benign decisions. Figure out how you made those decisions, how they turned out to be unresourceful to you. And think of previous events that have been resourceful to you, analyze them as well, and see your strategy, and apply that same strategy to these old unresourceful strategies, and figure out how you want to do the next decision that you're going to take in your life. I think that should be a nice start for now for figuring out decision strategies. There's a whole process in neurolinguistics or in NLP where we go step by step through enlisting the strategy, the decision strategy that you make, how to implement a new decision strategy, how it will affect your everyday life, That's a very, very long, it's a long process that requires volunteers, and it requires me to do my part as a coach. So what I shared with you is the basics of it, the important parts on how to figure out whether what you're doing will result in a positive outcome for you or it will result in a unresourceful outcome for you. So Adil, I think this is my part for now, unless we have more questions. I don't know whether
So
it's
far, we don't have questions on Facebook, neither on Zoom. So
okay.
I believe
Do
we
you
reached
have any
to the end
questions?
of the session. Yeah, actually, it seemed that, as we discussed also last time. So the decision is not just a black and white. It's a lot of factors and parameters, and it's need يعني more time even to talk about it. But what do you advise all the people who are watching us now? So how they can work on their decision making, يعني, in addition to the session itself. So if they want to prepare for the next decision, if they want to take their next decision to a better stage or advanced stage, or to make a more proper decision. So what they can do in a bullet points.
Okay, so to make it clear, the decision that you're going to make, you're going to see yourself making it, you're going to hear yourself, and you're going to feel yourself making it. Now, in my opinion, these 3 points can, or there's a possibility that they should be aligned with each other, meaning if your visual tells you, oh, it's going to be beautiful, and your auditory, and the auditory is not necessarily only you, but it is also what people tell you. If you tell yourself, for instance, oh, that's going to be fantastic to be doing that, but other people tell you, don't do it, or it's not going to be right, or it's not the right time, or you don't have the money, or there are pointers that people will tell you, right? If you share that opinion or that decision with somebody, you should try and consider then afterwards how you would feel with that subject or with that decision and without that decision. You should try to think of the outcome that it will result in. Not the best possible case, but the average result, so that you don't overwhelm yourself with that feeling of, oh, it will be fantastic if this happens. It's not about if this happens. It's about what will happen if you make this decision or that decision. At the end of the day, the decision will take you to somewhere where you have to be either way. That's why I was saying there's not really a bad decision or a good decision. It's a decision, and that decision will lead you to someplace. So that's my even though I don't like to say advice, but that would be my recommendation to how to understand your next decision better, and try to do it, like I said, with tiny things, things that have no consequences in your life. Test it out. The more you test, the more results you'll get. Remember, Thomas Edison, when he created the light bulb, right? He went over 1,000 tests to do it, and test after test after test. And when he was asked, how come you never gave, why didn't you ever give up after doing 1,000 failures? And his answer was, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 different ways to not get the results I wanted, right? So you can do the same thing with your strategies, with your decision strategies. Do them with small, benign things so that they don't affect your larger life. And that would be my recommendation.
Yep. Yes. So yeah, looks great. Thank you, Kamal, for the session today. And I believe everybody now is they will be eager to for the next session next week. So waiting for you all the next week. If you have any questions across the week, so just drop it to side by side, and we will handle it to Kamal so we can answer it on time. And waiting for you.
Thank you
Thank you,
very much,
Kamal.
Adil.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.